This is Change It Live, an interactive Facebook talk show.
Hey, how's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Welcome to Change It Live. I'm your host, Darius Hopkins. With me is the analytical Frank Wheeler.
What's up, baby? That's what we do. That's what we do. Hey, appreciate you all joining in with us tonight.
Good evening, guys.
Evening.
Welcome to Change It Live. I'm your host, Darius Hopkins. With me, co-host, the engaging Frank Wheeler.
What's up, baby? What's going on?
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Change It Live. I'm your host, Darius Hopkins. With me is my co-host, the thoughtful Frankie Wheeler.
What's up, baby? Let's go.
Hello, everybody. How you doing?
What is going on?
Welcome to Change It Live. I am your host, Darius Hopkins. With me is the inquiring Frank Wheeler.
My peoples, man, where y'all been? What you been up to? Let's go.
Let's share, learn, and laugh together. Okay, because that's really what it's all about.
We've got an amazing special guest with us tonight. We are excited to have Miss Deetria, affectionately known as Dee Dee Burton. Welcome, Dee Dee. Let's go. Let's go. Dee Dee. The awesome thing about our guest tonight, that she is not only a local real estate agent business owner, but she's also the facilitator for the local chapter of the Lupus Foundation. So just want to kind of just dive in with you, if you don't mind us just sitting there for a second, just for the sake of our viewers, being a facilitator of the Lupus Foundation. Well, first, let's start off with why do you support the foundation?
Well, about 10 years ago, one of my best friends came to me and asked me if I could help her start a walk here for her daughter, Elena, who has lupus. Elena found out she had lupus in 2005, which was her senior year of high school. We're supposed to be thinking about prom and graduation and college. We're not supposed to be worried about how we're going to walk again and talk again, because she was diagnosed with the extreme form of lupus, psoriasis, LSC. So they took her to Chapel Hill, and she actually had to learn to walk and talk all over again. But she's a determined young lady. Elena's amazing, and she has a determined mother who helps support her and push her. But 10 years ago, when Deborah and I started coordinating things with the foundation in Charlotte, they didn't have the whole state. They only had Charlotte and Raleigh. There was nothing else throughout the whole state. So we begged, pleaded, and borrowed to see if we could get a walk going on here. And they came down, we had a meeting, and they said, you guys need, as a previous, am I hitting something? Am I hitting a nerve there?
Well, here, let's go to a couple of comments real quick, if you don't mind. Jody says, why are they saying MS and lupus and fibromyalgia are all connected?
Because they are all autoimmune diseases.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Thanks for clearing it up. Jody, hopefully that helped you out.
And there's more. I mean, Crohn's, IBD, ulcerative colitis, all those are forms of autoimmune diseases. And like I said, they can't say it's hereditary, but the gene is hereditary. So just because somebody has lupus doesn't mean that your children will have it. Doesn't mean they'll have anything. They're going to have that gene more than likely in their body, but they may never have anything stem from it.
Okay, perfect.
And Erica followed up and said, all autoimmune diseases are caused by a family of around 250 gene mutations. We are exposed to an environmental trigger for the diseases and may develop one or many autoimmune diseases. So I appreciate every guys' comments. Keep the comments coming. And then I guess there's a question here from Jody. He was asking, are there any natural things I can try to do to get better if I have really bad, I've been really bad lately. I live in Michigan and this weather here is wicked. I'm guessing this is for lupus or
yeah, you said I believe
autoimmune disease.
Well, Michigan weather is not fun for you, I'm sure. Extreme heat and extreme cold is never good for anybody with lupus, fibromyalgia, MS, pretty much all autoimmune diseases that affects us, and just us in general. We don't like it too hot or too cold, do we?
No, absolutely. 100%.
But as far as natural things, one, I want to stress how important it is for you to communicate with your doctors. I can't give any medical advice, I'm not a doctor, but as an advocate and using things on my own, it's very important for stretching. At the lupus support group meeting the other night that we had, Deborah expresses how important yoga has been for her to help her. Yoga, relaxation, meditation, things like that to just try to keep your body calm. And then of course, I don't know what's legal here. In Michigan, it's not legal here, but I have been told out in Colorado, people are using CBD oil, which I do not know very much about, but it's not what I thought it was, but I hope to learn more about it, because if that is something that becomes available here in North Carolina, for any of our lupus patients, I want to know about it so we can share that with them. But definitely talk with your doctors, and then go to like a natural health food store and let them know what's bothering you, and I'm sure that they could help advise you of what's good in that area. And I will tell you local stuff. When you have the capability of getting like local honeys, local elderberry, stuff like that, it has more of the nutrients for you because it's local.
Okay, got you.
All right.
All right,
Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Appreciate that. Appreciate it. You got to tell yourself good things about you, that you're sexy, you're awesome, you got 20-inch biceps, the 8-pack's coming in, these traps and lats are popping, and I'm telling you, the V taper, it's coming. So y'all can tell some of the things I'm struggling with myself right now. Okay, when it comes to like getting
Like
in the gym, and
what's going on over there?
it's kind of like this over 40 life. It's hard, y'all. I mean, it's like the bodily functions change, and your eyesight starts going bad. Hence the glasses up and wearing
New glasses.
and things of that nature. So, and number 4,
Said, you got to think positive about yourself. Don't let people bring you down.
Amen.
And I always have a saying that if someone's trying to bring you down, they're already beneath you. So stay up.
Yes.
If they're dealing with it, somebody else is dealing with it too.
That's
So
right.
Go ahead and start.
And as bad as we see all the bad stuff going on in the world, we have Facebook. And you can go on Facebook and say, hey, who wants to go to a support group or start a support group doing this? And you'd be surprised. So
That's right.
you can do it. You can do it.
That's right. Like some monogram sleeves. And I went through that whole phase for so long, and that was my therapy. That was my way of like self-care. I was saying, I'm accomplished. I'm going to spend a little money on myself. I'm going to look good doing it. And shoes.
When you look good,
you feel good,
you play good,
baby. Okay. I found out that I work so much and I just can't get them all in rotation like I want to. So now my 17-year-old son is finding himself in my closet because I'm like saying suicide down. I come home and he's like in my maxes, and I be about to spaz out. And y'all probably wondering like, why? Because no, you don't understand. It's like certain things you just don't share with your kids all the time. And one of them is my maxes. You don't get in my Air Maxes, man. Okay, I'm like serious about this. And son, if you're watching this right now, if my Air Maxes are anywhere close to you, I'm gonna see about you when I get home. Okay, that's what we gonna do. But I've kind of done the same thing you have. I've toned it, and now I love grocery shopping. I'm like this guy that is a Harris Teeter nut. Okay, the fresh market, and I love finding the deals. I got the Vic alerts on my phone. And I love to cook. Like my therapy now is I've turned from the retail therapy side to the cooking, and I just love the cooking experiment. And I love seeing the look on my kids and wife's face when I make something that's really awesome. And playing drums, you know, I think some of your passions in life can also help you with the self-care aspect. Do something that you love to do.
That's right.
You know, do something that you love to do, whether it's paint, draw, play an instrument. Whatever the case may be, those are the things that take your stress level down so low and put you in a state of euphoria. When I'm behind my drum set, I am in a euphoric state. Like I'm in the zone and I'm in such a happy place that you just can't take me out of there. It's like, oh my God, you know? So find that thing that you just love to do and do it often. And if you got to spend a little money doing it to invest in your passion, do it. It's okay. As long as your lights don't get cut off and your mortgage don't go into foreclosure behind you trying to fuel your passion, don't do that now. Be grown with it, okay? But invest in your passion. And I think that can help you with your self-care aspect besides the retail therapy.
Absolutely. Totally agree.
It just gives us an idea, but if someone called me today and said that they were thinking about purchasing a home and they've never purchased a home before, I believe in working smart, not hard, okay? And I believe in us being prepared. And I also am a firm believer that we have to crawl before we can walk.
That's right.
So it's not always the perfect time for you in particular to purchase a home, but I can help guide you to get you to there, okay? Some people don't like being told no right now. We're in that world of instant gratification and they don't like to listen. And that's okay. Not all money is meant for me. But for the what have you been paying for rent? Because when you write that mortgage check, because unless you're paying cash, we gotta write it every month, okay? I want you to be like, oh my God, I love Didi Fargar. I don't want you to be like, oh my God, I can't believe I gotta write this mortgage check out again.
We'll be able to buy cars and houses. I'm gonna touch on base on that. I'm also gonna piggyback on the credit thing. That's gonna be the most important thing. Actually, it's one of the most important things on buying anything. Okay? Credit can cost you to pay more for the same item than you should. Okay? Based off of interest. A lot of people are not understanding the importance of credit.
Correct.
We have a lot of people that are used to just paying cash for things. Cash is good. Credit is power. Okay? No one's walking into a mortgage office dropping $300,000 on a house. You're getting financed. Okay? It's happening less and less.
That's right.
Same thing with cars, but you know, cars is a depreciating asset. That's a whole different ball of wax.
Yes.
But I'm gonna explain to you guys why credit is so important. People are not understanding. Right now in the car business, you can get as low as 0% interest. Okay, I think right now the state max in interest is 26, 27.
It depends on the year, the age of the vehicle.
Okay.
So current model year and 2 years old, state max in North Carolina is 18%.
Okay.
And then anything past the 3, 4, 5 year mark, I believe state max is 22%.
22%.
21.95.
Okay.
And then moving past even older than that, then it can go up as upwards to 26%.
Okay. So 26% from 0% to 26%. You're looking at a difference of $200 a month in payment on a 72-month loan. Okay. And I did the math on that. That's an extra $14,000 on a 72-month loan. Okay, $14,000. Okay, that doesn't include the down payment you put down on that car. This is why it's important. I think what's the rate on mortgage now? What is it? 4.8?
4.35.
4.35. Now add that to a $200,000 house.
I'd love to have you guys.
Absolutely. And you will find this and additional information on our Change It Live page. Please like and share our Facebook page with your friends, okay? And we'll also put a link in there to the Lupus Foundation
Wonderful.
as well on the Change It Live link. And we'll also put a link in there to Didi Berkshire Hathaway, okay, real estate company for your real estate needs. Thank you so much for joining us. So thank you all for tuning in. So now on to the topics for this week. Comedian Chris Rock has a famous bit about being brutally honest with your kids. What if your child asks for the honest opinion about their singing talent, sports ability, etc.? How honest should a parent be?
For me,
Let's go, Dion.
100%. 100%. Be 100% honest to your kids and their abilities. Now, when I say honest, I don't mean tell them, man, you suck at basketball, man.
Yeah.
You should never touch another ball again.
John,
I got a comment here.
come on, let's get to
Mr. Randall Wood.
Yes, Randall.
What up, man? What's
Randall
happening?
Wood.
He says at a young age, you should just support and let them explore.
What age do we appropriate when we're brutally honest? You know, so I think developmentally, from a psychological standpoint, kids develop their personalities by age 5, 6. Okay, and so when does keep it real set in with your children? So like D-Hop talked about the participation trophies and how everybody's a winner. That's like the most false setup of how you can ever rear a child in this society. Little Johnny. I hate what I always lose.
Yeah, always Little Johnny.
Use
Always
Little Johnny. Little Johnny. Man, hey Dad, how do you like my drawing? Well, Little Johnny, you know, it's from my standards, and it's my standards, my opinion, and this is where the kind of grader comes in. Man, I think you know, that's good. So, am I lying to Little Johnny? Probably. Am I giving Little Johnny a false hope that his artwork is like phenomenal? Yeah, you know. But do we encourage Little Johnny to keep doing what he has a passion to do? Yes, we want to encourage Little Johnny. Like, hey man, hey, you know, I'm not an art expert, you know, but I kind of take that back because I do have a creative side, and I do draw, I do paint. Got it from my daddy. You know, so if I'm looking at one of my kids' artwork from being an artist, I'm probably a little more critical than most folks who are not artists. Sometimes you got to trust your kid. Give them the benefit of the doubt. If you see that they have a passion, invest in it, fuel it. Do you feel it is a good idea to start a relationship with a coach?
Keep shaky situation, because, I mean, number one, most people spend most of their lives at work anyway.
Yes.
I mean, you working 50, 60 hours.
Yes.
You come home, you eat dinner, you may watch a ball game, you're in bed.
No.
I always would say this. You don't want to make honey where you make your money.
Don't take a dump where you eat. It's the best way that I can put it. You know what I'm saying? Don't have a honey where you make your money.
That's it.
So,
The banking industry made $30 billion off of overdraft fees.
Say that one more time for the people.
The banking industry made $30 billion off overdraft fees. Now I'm going to say this bluntly. I don't mean to say this to anybody.
My wife of 18 years, 9 months, 28 days, 12 hours, and 37 minutes. Mrs. Tanika Wheeler, aka Pookie, is on the show tonight. Ladies and gentlemen,
Welcome.
it is going down. It is going down. So as I take a second, excuse me guys, I gotta share this to my personal page and to my business page. Yes, and we can get this thing rolling. So hey, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. This is a very special night in America, in the world. It is Valentine's Day.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so hopefully you're cooped up with someone you love right now, and hopefully that your day has been going awesome and that it will continue to be awesome today. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight on your Valentine's night.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes. And for those who don't know, like I said earlier, we've been married 18 years, 9 months, 28 days, 12 hours, 39 minutes now. And
That could be good, or
And
that
that-
could be bad. So you count down with.
no, I'm
You're
saying,
loving every minute of it.
Yeah, I know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? So, but here, but that's how long we've been together. That's just a little background on us, and we've been holding strong ever since. So, and hopefully some things we'll give you tonight in today's show. You can get a little bit more of an inkling on how we think as a couple, how we think as parents, how we think as husband and wife, and hopefully some of these things we share with you tonight will be able to help you so you can change it. Change your situation, all that good stuff. A survey of women published in Elite Daily found that what most attracted them to their mate was their voice. What first attracted you to your significant other?
Your height.
Ah,
I love a tall man. So height and
yes.
and your back. It was
Back.
nice too.
The back, ladies and gentlemen, the back.
And you could dance too. But yeah, your height was the first thing that caught my eye.
I'm a drummer, people. I got mad rhythm.
Well, we want, as a team of Change It Live, want to present Miss Wheeler with this gift.
No doubt.
We want to thank you for allowing him to give us countless hours to put this show together. We just thank you from the bottom of our heart. So we give the whole team of Change It Live is giving you a token of our appreciation to you.
Yes.
This is just one, but there's more that we're going to give you.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Oh,
Thanks.
We also was given this. You go ahead and open that up for everybody to see live.
Oh, snap.
Oh.
Oh.
Wow.
So
Yes.
just our appreciation from the team here at Change It Live, from the management crew, all the co-hosts. We want to say thank you and happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, I'm good now. Let's do this.
My wife had such a heart of gold. And she was such a strong woman of integrity. And her character was just off the charts. You know, she's the type of woman, and the thing that I still feel the most proud about her today is she doesn't compromise her morals. She doesn't bend the rules. She doesn't lie. She has to me almost like that infallible, perfect like character. She's not perfect, but when it comes to moral, just, you know, kind of like the old Southern folks call good people, you know, my wife is one of the best people I've ever known and met in my entire life, period. And those same things she instills in our children. And when I found out the type of character and integrity she had in those hips, okay, because they don't lie, the hips don't lie. You know, Shakira said that thing, you know, she said the hips don't lie, and I agree. Shakira, thank you so much for the song. And if you want to be a guest on Change Your Lives,
Come on.
contact with management. But
It's funny you said that because Miss Short was on the same wavelength. She was saying marriage is something you mature into. Their ceremony is one thing, but becoming one is a process. That's why premarital counseling, and even counseling being mentored by mature married individuals
Amen.
through the first few years is very important.
amen.
And that's a great comment, Ms. Short. Thank you for that comment. My opinion, based on this couple, my opinion is the first problem they have is they're talking about it in vogue.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the first problem. Their problem is they have their marriage in the media.
That's right.
You got to keep marriage life in the house. You don't let everybody into yourself. I've said that many times. You don't let people all in your relationships.
Amen.
But as far as the communication, it's gonna be tough. The first strong thing in any relationship is communication. That's just number one. Without communication, everything is gonna fall apart.
You gotta talk it out, man. Somebody need to hear that tonight. I don't know. Let that sizzle in your spirit, like that Country Wayne says. Somebody need to hear that, man. You need to go home and have a conversation with your wife. You need to talk to your wife tonight. Y'all need to get some things ironed out. Or have a conversation, okay? And hopefully Justin Bieber can and his wife can make it. And here, let's hit some of these comments.
Yes.
Let's see. This said communication is not easy in most relationships. Erica says, I agree. Premarital counseling is a good thing. Marriage grows as the partners grow. Mature, face challenges, and deal with aging or illnesses. The level of quality of communication grows and wanes. This also says communication is not easy in most relationships. The difference is that when it comes to friends or coworkers, you just cut them off or avoid them. You cannot do that as effective with folks you or have kids with, etc. Okay. Kim says, in regards to arguing, my husband is what I call a right fighter. He needs to be right, so I let him be right. Dr. Phil says it's best, do what you want to be happy, or do you want to be right? I choose to be happy, so he can be right all day. You know, how does it get to that point to where it's I gotta be right, you know, and there's no consideration for your feelings or your voice or your explanation. So look, first and foremost, okay, we're not getting off the air until you do a British impersonation.
I can't do British impersonation.
What do you mean you can't do it? You can do the British.
I can't.
Yes, you can.
No.
We've done it plenty of times. I'll start you over. What we're gonna say is Valentine's Day. And what we mean by that is you got to love the one that you're with. You've got to do it. Do it for the people. Do it now. What do you want to say to these fine folk before we get off the air?
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. I can't do it. I can't.
Come on, Boogie. Okay, look. We be killing it with like when we in the car and stuff, and we be doing our, you know what I'm saying? Because Pookie actually does a better British impersonation than I do. You know what I'm saying? Her British impersonation is like infallible. We definitely appreciate everybody joining in tonight.
That's all good. It's all good.
When it's live. So I'm gonna take a second here, and my lovely wife Tanika Wheeler, aka Pookie. So thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate it so much.
Oh, engaged here. It's going to be some
That's right.
great comments and great conversation here tonight.
And we need your feedback as much as possible. Hopefully, as you all know, my wife is a social worker with the local county school system, and she holds her MSW in social work. And a lot of our topics tonight are advocacy-based topics, social work-based topics, parenting-based topics. So I hope everyone tunes in and gives us some input. Look, we want the input. We need the input. We got to have the input. So we just want to engage you all tonight in the show. How much affection is appropriate to show your spouse in front of your children? The responses vary wildly from minimal physical touch to full-on PDA. Okay? Which level of affection is more appropriate or healthy modeling for children, in your opinion?
I think it's very important for your children to see you be affectionate with your partner in a healthy way. I think it's important for them to experience that. I think that's a way of modeling what you would hope that they would share with their spouse. Because physical touch is one of the 5 love languages. Mm-hmm. So that may be someone's need that they have. I think for me, what's appropriate is a kiss on the forehead, a kiss on the cheek, a peck on the lips, maybe a pat on the backside.
Attaboy. Yeah. You know, I got a kid that's at the dining room table, one in the living room, and I try to sneak one in? You're darn right I'm gonna sneak one in. Okay? It is what it is. You know, my wife is beautiful and has great physical features, and I want to be like a part of that, like all the time.
She needs to understand how important that is.
Amen.
Helping a stranger down the stairs and things like that, and just opening the car doors, just little things mean a whole lot. And I think that's getting missed.
The car that you don't even give the man the opportunity to even get out the seat, unbuckle the seatbelt, and at least roll around to the passenger side to open the door up
and unlock the door.
Yeah.
Unlock the door.
You know what I mean?
Erica has a good comment. She says, I definitely think it is important to show affection towards one another in front of the kids. We are their models for a healthy relationship. We also help them to understand time and place being appropriate in front of them. So I appreciate the comments.
Absolutely.
Keep the comments coming.
Time in a way that reflects the best interest of the child.
the mama should always get the kids.
Oh,
Am I having to sit between y'all with this, or I mean, what?
In all fairness, I think, I don't know if I am one way or the other, because a judge is a person he's a neutral party. So there's already a lot of emotional things going on in a divorce. So a judge is able to remove himself or herself from
there's a lot of moving parts there, but I'm glad that somebody's at least trying to figure out, because I'm pretty sure these advocates are doing this for the good daddies out there that do right by their kids, that want to see their kids, that want to spend time with their children, that want to pour into their children. And just because you're not with mom doesn't mean that daddy can't have an impact in a kid's life. Demi says, I believe parents should have equal rights. And also says, now, unless there are circumstances where one parent should have sole custody, especially now, in my opinion, how I think the schoolwork is a lot more intense than what it used to be.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I look at I look at my 10-year-old's math stuff, and we're both college educated, and I can't. Some of the stuff I have to Google to know the rule of the type of problem we're doing, so it can come back to me. I'm dead serious.
It's like the way they're doing the new multiplication. I'm like,
Gosh.
what is that?
It's like,
It's taking 30 minutes for one question now. I'm like, what is this?
It's not just, I mean, the level of work is on a whole nother level. I can't remember doing these kind of problems when I was in the 5th grade. Like, who does this? You know what I'm saying? Doing it and see if you want to have that social media, then the dad's going to be your friend. The dad's on the friend list. And if you don't like dad being on the friend list, you won't use the social media platform. Just get over it.
transparent moment. With my younger two, they have Kindles. I've not did the best job in terms of regulating. It's a work in progress, because it's very tempting when you're washing clothes and folding them and putting them away to keep the babies out of the way, because that's my downfall. But I'm working on it, because I know that it is real. Digital addiction is real. I've learned that. I know that. I see that when it's time to take it away before bedtime. I see a whole transformation when it's time to go to bed. So it's a work in progress. I'm definitely not perfect in that arena, but I'm working on it. Parents, they keep a bin at the front of the door, so when kids are walking through that door, they had to put that technology there at different times of throughout the day within family setting. If it's time to eat dinner, no TV, no social media. So I think just putting those pieces in, so that they can get in their mind, okay, there's a time and a place, there's a cutoff. I need to practice discipline in this area.
If you're showing the kids time, I think they have less and less time for social media.
Right.
Because social media is where they can get their attention.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people, they switch to social media to get their attention.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that has a lot to play with it too. So, but yeah.
Absolutely. Here, let's get to a couple of these
Yeah.
comments. Let's see. It's tough for parents these days. If parents are struggling, from Erica, there's no shame in them reaching out to parenting resources.
Yeah.
Samantha says, I think if they take some technology out of school, it would be better. That needs to be introduced at home. It is like our generation, we had to deal with drinking and driving and not taking drugs. Here, I'll comment on that for a second.
Mm-hmm.
The technology nowadays is in the school, because you got to understand what school is teaching. School is teaching folk to get out into the workforce, to have enough education to get out to the workforce, and the workforce is using those technologies. Then I think it's appropriate to introduce them in school if those things equate to using those technologies when they go out into the real world and get into the workforce. Because let's face it, I don't like kids being on the internet or stuff as much as anybody else does. But if your job is web-based, then you got to do that's right.
So if you got your kids on an electronic device, you can have it where anything that happens on an electronic device, you can get access to, so you know who they texting, what they done said, all that. So
Yeah.
just saying, it's out there.
And your Wi-Fi has the capability of shutting down electronic devices from using the Wi-Fi after certain times of night. You can set up restrictions for certain types of websites when it comes to like our websites, XXX websites, whatever the case may be. You can put a whole list of filter stuff on your Wi-Fi at the house just in
like
case
to cut it.
if somebody. Statistics show 20 people are physically assaulted every minute in the United States. In addition, every 9 seconds, a woman is beaten or assaulted. 20,000 phone calls are placed to domestic violence hotlines nationwide daily. The cast and staff of Change It Live want to share some local and national resources for our viewers. We will post them in the comments and on our Change It Live page. Well, once again, thank you all for tuning in tonight. We appreciate your comments. We appreciate your feedback. Join us in next week, same time on Thursday, 9 p.m. at the Core Studio. First and foremost, let's welcome back Miss Deetria Dee Berger to the show.
In the house again.
Okay? In the house again. And I'm so excited that she decided to come back
Yes.
and share some awesome information with us. I am like so stoked about tonight's information. And I can't wait to see what you guys' comments are going to be tonight. I can't wait for you guys to get engaged with us. I am like so stoked. It's not even funny. Oh my God.
He's
You
so
know?
excited. He's running up and down the halls. You know?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. A little bit.
Okay.
But Dee Dee, you also live with the autoimmune disease, Crohn's.
I do.
Okay, can you tell us the impact of living with that disease?
Well, it's still quite new to me. It's only been about a year now that I was diagnosed. I was diagnosed with Crohn's, ulcerative colitis, and celiac. I have issues with all those things. So I don't mean to say luckily, but the fact that I had been involved with lupus and had widened my knowledge about autoimmune diseases and stuff, I sort of had an idea, and it wasn't as devastating to me when I found out. I was just honestly excited to have a diagnosis to know what was actually going on with me, because I had been having issues for really, it seemed like about 7 years, and it just gradually kept getting worse and worse and worse.
Okay.
You know, it's like a lot of autoimmune diseases. I have my good days and my bad.
Now on to tonight's topics.
Good.
Okay, so we invite you to join in the conversation. Please like, share, and we definitely appreciate it. Paris Hilton said in a recent interview that a woman was convicted in court of stealing her identity. She also warned that posts on social media about her travel led to her home being robbed while she was away. Have you put any safeguards in place or changed your activity on social media to protect your identity and property?
Me?
Yes.
Well, I am a member of Legal Shield. I
Okay.
have a great guy in town that takes care of that stuff. So it comes along with ID theft, identity theft. So I have that in place to help me out. But I have also learned over time, I actually had a real good friend of mine tell me one time, quit telling people you're leaving, because I like to go on vacation and I like to go visit family and I like to go do fun things.
That's right.
And so I've tried to learn that if we're all leaving the house, to wait to post all the fun stuff.
Is my thing I'm adopting here as of late, but yeah, stop posting all your stuff. Okay, we know you and your wife went out. I get it. Okay, and it's 9:30. Wait to do that at like 11 when y'all back to the house. Okay, because you got because you got Junior and Ray ready to come over and you know. And if you don't have the upgraded CPI security system,
All those things are great.
you know, with the front doorbell camera and the camera through the peephole, and if you don't have Santino sitting in the guest room right by the door waiting, okay, then you might have some problems.
That's right.
Okay.
Erica gave a pretty good comment. She says, being the coordinator of our neighborhood watch, we definitely spread the word not to post that you are away. Don't post pics until we get home. Do not leave boxes from electronic purchases on the
That's
curb.
right. That's right.
Where they're visible. That's some pretty good practices there. I thought of some other things that you might want to do. Number one, the location, like Frank said. You want to turn your location off because if you post pictures, it will tell you exactly where you're at.
That's right.
This is a problem that Paris Hilton and a lot of other celebrities, I think Kylie Jenner was another one, on either Snapchat or Instagram where she posts, it tells her where she's at, so everybody rushes to where she's at. So that's a big thing. Also, as far as social media identity, you want to make sure you do change your password to social media once a month. So that's a big one there. Of course, identity theft protection. You want to have some of that in place, just for your life, anyways.
This is the society we are right now,
It is.
and we miss this.
That's
You
right.
know, we miss this.
Absolutely.
That's right.
We need more of this
That's right.
and this
Yeah, but-
instead of always being in the phone.
Peggy says, my husband deals with this all the time. Me having MS and now cancer, he tries to do everything to make me feel better. And he's a diabetic. And I know his health is not good, but we are there for each other. The rest of the family seems not to understand so well. Goodness, with your loved ones. Your extended family, you'd be surprised, especially your cousins. I got a bunch of them. I love y'all. Okay?
I do too.
We all do.
Absolutely. Oh, man. And here, one more comment. Online support groups are key for us, connecting to those who truly understand our experience. However, having family support strengthens us. They are our hands on the rock. Amen. Amen. And Peggy says, I think all games and phones need to be off at family get-togethers. I agree.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree with that, Peggy.
And dinner time.
Yeah, definitely.
Dinner time. I mean, it's
Yeah,
got to be
it's forbidden
it's-
at my table.
Yeah, you got to set a time,
Oh, yeah.
set some guidelines with that. Maybe a couple of hours a night, and then talk, and it's family time. That'll strengthen that bond.
So my children are grown in different states already, and you know, when the grandchildren come to visit and we go out to eat and stuff, that's thankfully that's my daughter's role. The tablets and
That's
stuff
right.
do not go into the restaurant with us. It's about
right.
us talking and being silly and making funny faces and playing tic-tac-toe and on the little placemats that they give you at whatever restaurant you're at.
Yeah,
But
crosswords, all
I
that.
tried to instill that in my children. It's no matter what was going on, and believe it or not, that's probably when I started having like weight issues because we would eat so late at night sometimes. But I wanted us all to be together for dinner, and my husband was active duty military back then, so he was always gone. So it was just myself and my daughter and son at home. But I wanted us together, at least at dinner time. Minimum dinner, we needed to be together and see each other's faces. And, you know, we didn't have, Lord of mercy, I don't think, I mean, we had the big bag cell phones back then. But I'm telling my age a little bit. But the thing is that cell phones weren't as prevalent in the makeup of our family unit at the time. But the thing is, I still found it so important that I wanted that dinner time with them. So no matter if they had tennis or football or baseball or I had to work late, we ate late because that was our time to be together as a family.
Right.
And I think a lot of households miss that because we are all involved in
Everybody's all
so
over
much
it.
stuff. We never, I mean, it went from nightly dinners with the family to Sunday dinners, which thank God some of them still have the Sunday dinner together. But it's I don't know, I couldn't have envisioned being any other way, but you're right. Everybody is so busy and so involved in so many things, but you know what it is? They're going to get older and they're going to look back and they're going to be like, man, I miss that.
Yeah.
I miss that. So take it from some that have already gotten to those ages that, you know, take the time to just sit down and, you know, the dishes will wait, the laundry will wait.
Amen. Well, cool. Well, hey, look, from Wheezy's world famous smoked ribs, or Wheezy, Mac and Wheezy, okay, my world famous mac and cheese, Mac and Wheezy, okay, to one of Dee Dee's casseroles or omelets, okay, our panel is not short on cooking successes. What is one of your cooking or kitchen failures?
I'm probably the wrong person to ask that question. You should probably call somebody in my family. I didn't know I had any failures in the kitchen.
Let's go.
Wow, you know, there's one story.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'll be quick so y'all can share yours. Christmas we go usually to Colorado to be with our daughter and son-in-law and grandchildren, and our mother, bless her heart, 81 years old. She usually goes with us, and our son usually, if he can, he'll come in. But we make Jesus a birthday cake every year. Okay. So that the kids are like, what kind of birthday cake are we making Jesus? What kind of birthday cake are we making Jesus? Well, Colorado is a whole different altitude, yes, than the North Carolina girl
Yeah,
is.
my sister lives in Fort Carson. Yeah. Colorado Springs. Yeah, absolutely.
So
100%.
I did not know I needed to adjust things to make this homemade butter pecan Jesus birthday cake. So, mind you, it tasted delicious, so it didn't fail in that part, okay? But what happened was when we started frosting it, it started falling apart. And I had to make more frosting to put it together for. And my son-in-law walks by, and he goes, "What is that?" And I said, "That's Jesus' birthday cake." And I love my son-in-law so much. You ready for this? He goes, "Well, that is so fitting." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I thought he was going to pick on me. He goes, "That's how we are. We're so broken, and the Lord just puts us all back together."
Oh, man.
So I'm going to say that is my only failure, which still turned into a success.
No doubt.
Don't ask anybody else in my family, though, because I'm sure there's some major ones.
Goodness.
I mean, I know me personally, I just had a cookout failure. First time on the grill, I put a little too much lighter fluid.
Uh-oh. Everything
It
tasted like
took off
lighter
everything. It took off it. Well, I didn't even get that far.
It took off all your eyebrows.
Yeah, eyebrows gone. It's gone. It's So yeah, I don't do the charcoal grill anymore. It's all propane. And,
Be careful with that, too.
yeah, I'm a little more adverse on those, but that was bad. That was bad. But I learned from it.
You know, there's just not too many things in the kitchen that I just don't do well. It's like the jack of all trades, the master of none. You know what I mean? So look, whether it's soul food, international cuisine, the grill piece, charcoal, wood, or propane.
There you go.
The crock pot,
Uh-huh.
okay? Rolling food in the oven. You know, a lot of people don't know how to broil food.
Yeah.
Steaming. Okay?
Just can't go wrong. So we're doing
I mean,
this next month
so-
at Frankie's. and he's
I'm
cooking?
telling you, that's what it sounds like.
I mean, it's just kind of like my thing, you know? I love to cook. But, and I don't know if it's so much of a cooking, like, failure.
It's a learning lesson.
Yeah, I don't like to bake. Like, cookies. I do make, fudge brownie. Oh, yeah. But, like cake, I don't bake cake. I don't really like to bake. You know, so I've never really dabbled a lot. Brownies are easy. You know, whip them up, stuff them, and boom, 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 boom. Okay. But baking, I don't really like it. So I've never really dabbled in it. But I'm pretty sure if I followed the instructions to the letter of the law on the Betty Crocker box, okay, my cake would turn out to be, the box. My cake would turn out to be the bomb.
Yeah,
See,
we
the
ain't
one-
going
see,
so
the
straight
one thing
scratch
about
on everything.
people,
I'll bring
Yeah.
the cake.
when they cook,
He can make a mac and cheese.
you know, because you got different types of cooking. You got cooking that you kind of rely on, you know, your instinct, especially when it comes to like flavor and seasoning. Then you got some cooking that you do that you follow the recipe to the letter.
Bacon.
You know what I'm saying? But then you got them times where you dibble and dabble a little bit. You experiment. You experiment with different tastes and different flavors to see how it's going to turn out this time. And then you experiment it enough to where it becomes like your own recipe because you like the way it tastes now.
and it's perfect. See, that's how my mac and wheezy is. See, my mac and wheezy. Sorry, I
Oh,
couldn't take
Lord.
my mac and wheezy. See, okay, it's just it's that life. Okay, it's that life.
Where's that?
You know what I'm saying?
What's in that mac and wheezy?
But I can't, man, you know a true player can't reveal his secrets, man.
We're actually trying
You know
to
what I'm
figure it
saying?
out over here. We're wondering if we really want to taste it now.
Well, Erica,
That mac and wheezy though.
Erica says my
Yeah,
husband
that's true.
thinks everything should be Cajun. Burnt to him.
Cajun.
When we first was married, both I and our cat hung out near the front door for fresh air. Wow.
You know what I'm
Wow.
saying?
That's too funny.
Peggy, I can make anything but fried chicken.
Oh my God.
When husband says he wants fried chicken, it's time for KFC.
Oh, no.
Oh yeah, my fried chicken is like
Mine too.
is that life. You know what I'm saying?
You know I'm a good old Southern girl.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know I'm cook me some fried chicken.
Look, my fried chicken now. Okay, and here's
Golden
the thing.
brown.
Mm-hmm.
Like you, right?
Nice and
See,
crispy.
you can go
Double
on
dips.
YouTube
Mm.
and Facebook, and matter of fact, I watched this stuff called this Tasty app that gives you all kinds of like cool recipes and modifications to like different types of seasoning, flavors, and different kind of ways to cook stuff. And I'm telling you, it's like my fried chicken game is just going to a whole nother level,
Uh-oh. Oh,
a whole nother level, whole nother level. Okay, so look.
Chef Wheezy?
Peggy, just watch a couple of YouTube videos.
Yes.
You know, subscribe
Practice
to
that fried
the
chicken.
Tasty app. Go and practice on that thing, girl.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I will give you. I'm gonna give you a chef tip real quick. If you're really looking for a good Moss's chicken breading in Food Line, okay, it's probably the best chicken breading on the market. I just wanted to drop that in there for free for somebody right now, just in case you did not
Girl,
know.
if you ain't got no issues with
Okay.
eating stuff, get you some buttermilk,
You know what I'm saying?
self-rising flour,
You know what I'm saying?
living herbs
No.
and spices of your own.
Yeah. And I marinate my chicken in butter.
Mhm.
Buttermilk is a staple.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but that Moss's chicken bread.
Already got seasoning?
It's got a little bit, but I put a little paprika, a little
Frank's
pepper. I put a
twist,
little
too.
Frank's twist in the you know, and I use smoked paprika
Mm-hmm.
and not the regular stuff. Smoke gives a lot more
That's right.
flavor. You know, that's a topic for a whole nother time.
Yeah, we'll have to
people.
do a cooking
Okay?
show one.
Yeah, we might do a Change Your Life cooking edition. You know what I'm saying? With Chef Wheezy, Chef Dee, okay, and Chef D-Hop.
You ain't gonna be Chef D-Hop, you'll be eating D-Hop.
You know what I mean?
You'll be eating D-Hop. Case in point, like military. I mean, when I was in the military, I mean, we didn't have, I mean, social media was nowhere where it is right now. You didn't have live feeds and everything like that. All we had was the military phone. You had to call through a base to call out. I mean, that was pretty much it.
You better say, I love you quick.
I'm telling
It's
you,
gonna get cut
yeah,
off.
because you got a line of people. But and Anisha just hit right where I was going with it. Like with the military, man, just a regular old-fashioned letter. Write them a letter. It does it. I'm telling you, it makes you feel better. Actually, I would rather, when I was in the military, I would rather a letter than a phone call. Because if I call, then it may actually, to me, the phone call made me feel worse because it made me want to be there and couldn't be there. And knowing that you can't be there because maybe you're 5,000-10,000 miles on the other side of the world and you can't. And so you start thinking about being home when that's actually dangerous over there. When you start to think about life in the States, when you should be concentrating on what you're doing over there.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was deployed, I think when I was deployed, I was gone for 7.5 months. I called home twice. That was it. You got to be focused on what's going on over there, but they need to hear from you. Care packages, letters, send them stuff. I mean, that'd be more of a care package. But a lot of good stuff. That's why I fell in love with Amazon. Amazon was like one of the only companies back then that was shipping to an APO address, which is a forwarding address overseas.
Ice Ice Baby first came out. Man, that thing was like a year old in the United States. And we thought it was the trendiest thing that just came out. We were singing Ice Ice Baby a year after it went like triple platinum. Okay? I mean, you know, can you imagine
Stop.
like,
Collaborate.
right, okay, like hitting this Ice Ice Baby all of a sudden, okay, and then this was like, and then we're just now transitioning, coming back to the States, and I'm Ice Ice Baby, and everybody looking at me like, dude,
Oh.
you know, that's like, we stopped playing that record like a year ago. I'm like, huh?
They on Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg now. You on Ice?
Yeah.
What? You on MC Hammer? What?
Huh? Like, well, hey, look, tonight we are honored to have a special guest with us tonight, Mr. Jerry Tyson,
Yes.
who has proudly served our great United States military as a sergeant first class in the Army. But Jerry is also a graphic designer. Okay? And Jerry, just real quick before we get started, man, tell us how you got into graphic design, my man.
All right, first of all, I want to say thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
It's an honor being here on the show for the first time.
Yes, sir.
And maybe I can come back. Y'all have me back. But I got started in graphic design working with the pastor at Breath of God. So it started out where I was doing just PowerPoint slides, his slides for his services, and then, you know, announcements that came up. And I was like, okay, there's got to be a better way than just straight PowerPoint because it looked kind of bland.
We're going to have the link to his Facebook page on the Change It Live page as well. So if you go to the Change It Live page, you'll get a link straight to, if you need some work on graphic designs, you can hit my man up right here and he'll get you right.
That's right. Well, we know, you know, it's been a year since you retired from the military, and we know that transition from the military life to the civilian life can be quite challenging sometimes. What advice would you have for anyone that is thinking of retiring or currently going through the process of retiring that could help make their transition easier?
So the biggest thing that helped me out was getting with mentors, people that's either already done it, higher ranking than myself, or somebody that's almost completed. Well, what I would say to you is get a head start.
Okay.
Getting your gear clean early, especially if you already know when that date is that you're determining when you're going to exit the military. Whether it's a year from now, where the Army says, okay, we're going to give you, the earliest you can start is 24 months if you're retiring. Now, if you're ETSing, the earliest that we can give you is 18 months. And then you'll start your ACAP process. For the low enlisted, what I did find out when I was doing my ACAP and processing, they separate the seniors from the low enlisted.
Right.
And I think they need to bring them back because we can make sure they're engaged and focused on the areas that is being put out because they tend to want to rush through it and get it over.
Right. You miss a lot.
You miss a lot. So they discuss anything between the paperwork, especially if you're retiring. If you're retiring, make sure you get your paperwork in ASAP. That's your award, that's your NCOR or OER. Get it done, get it proofread, and pretty much only thing you're waiting on is signatures. Same thing with your award, whatever award that you're submitting. Get all that paperwork done. But if you go to your transition office, whatever station you're at, they'll give you a checklist and tell you what you got to do step by step and just follow those steps. But the biggest thing is making sure you get your accounted for, get it clean, and get it turned in as soon as possible. Then making all your appointments. Every appointment that you need to make, dental, medical, for any element, get it annotated. Because by getting it annotated, it helps you in the long run with the VA. It builds your case. So if you don't do that, your case is not as strong as it should be.
Right.
And then, you know, making those appointments and then, you know, making sure you hit all those milestones on that out processing sheet. So I got a little bit of timeline that I pulled from the military. They give you a book they give you a pre-retirement counseling guide. So the book looks like this.
Okay.
Now, this is not the updated one. There's one for 2018, but roughly they give every soldier one of these, and they go through it and they talk about each area, and they talk about your transitions, what you should be expecting between 18 to 12 months, and so forth and so on. So you know what milestone you should be looking for.
Right.
And if you hadn't hit it, you need to kind of pick up the pace and get there. And then the next thing is when you get to that portion where you get to that DD-214, making sure
That's your freedom papers.
yeah, freedom paper. Making sure everything you did in the military, all your awards are there, all your schooling is there, any additional type of training that you had, whether it was, hotel aid school or jump master school or aerosol school, making sure that's annotated on there. So don't leave any stone unturned. Make sure it's there. Then after you get that done, they're gonna give you a rough draft, and then you review it, and then you won't get your final copy until like the last day before signing out. But before you get to that portion, if you're retiring like I did, you would need to, after you submit all your paperwork, your DD, your 4187 up to DA, and then it comes back, yeah, we approve. They're gonna give you some orders saying congratulations, on your retirement. Once you get that, start making your transportation, start making all your appointments for moves that you can, and then start scheduling out with transition and see when is the earliest you can pick up your actual clearing papers.
Right.
Okay. That stuff.
Some great information right there, man.
Awesome.
Dang,
Awesome information.
man.
And then when you do get out, my cousin called me a couple of days ago because he just recently retired, maybe a month or so ago. And he's like, Tyson, hey, I'm having trouble with school. I said, what trouble you having with school? They're like, okay, they want me to use the 33. You got different types of educational benefits. You got the Montgomery GI Bill, and you got the post 9/11. So they wanted him to do the post 9/11. I said, okay. I said the bad thing with the post 9/11, it's not bad. The VA is gonna pay for it. So instead of getting the $1,900 a month that you should get with the 30, you're only gonna get 12. Or maybe $1,500 a month, because the VA is taking that money out and paying the college for you.
Oh, I got you.
So if you already apply for FAFSA, books and tuition has already been paid for. So why not pocket the rest of the money
right, exactly.
and then buy your stipend, your pencil, your paper, and you got $1,900 in your pocket.
Nice.
And then the 30 rolls over to the 33, and after you run out of the 30, which is roughly 12 to 14 months, then you get another 12 months of the 30, and then you run over to the voc rehab, and then the voc rehab, depending on what you're specialized in, they determine that you gotta have a specific type of degree, and you tell them what that degree is, and then if you're approved, then you go through that, and you go through your degree program. So I'm like, look, this is how you can pocket some money and do other things with it necessary.
Right.
But most colleges not gonna tell the soldiers that.
No, of course not. No.
Especially, I would agree with you on that. But that is great information. Now on to tonight's topics. Let's go. All right, with information that is posted on social media out there forever, can you effectively change your reputation online once you make a change in your life? D-Hop, why don't you go and get us started with that?
You can get you started on that.
Yeah.
Can you change? I mean, yeah, you can. You can, because you can actually make the conscious decision to maybe you want to leave some of the crazy crap alone. You're not going to post crazy stuff. You're going to start posting positive stuff. You can change if you really want to. That's the beauty of being online. You can. It's just it's just like everyday life. You may decide you want to do something else in your life. You just decide and you take action. But yeah, you can. You just got to just come up with who you are. Find out who you are now, and go based off of that. So, absolutely.
What about you, Jerry?
Well, I agree with my counterpart to my left that, yeah, if you're genuinely serious about it, yeah, you can change. Now they're going to bring up your past? More than likely, yes. But if you're serious about it and you can effectively show that change, that you're making that change for the better, whatever it may be, whether it may be in your marriage, maybe be in your career or your finances, whatever that change is for you that you're trying to get better at, yeah, you can change it.
Right?
Well, social media is always kind of a touchy subject with me. Because I think social media, the landscape has changed from when I originally got on it. You know, I think I got on Facebook in like 2008, you know, with the idea of connecting with people that you grew up with, people that, you know, that I used to live in Germany with. I mean, just all kinds of just connections of folk that were no longer in my circle, that as you get grown, you're still kind of wondering, like, how's he doing? How's she doing? How are they doing? And that's why I got on social media to start with. You know, and then said social media has turned into more of a landscape of just mess, in my opinion, besides changing lives. But because people put so much of their life on there, you know, from whether it's stuff with your marriage, stuff with your family, stuff with your business, stuff with it's just so much going on all the time, you know. I kind of miss the simple days of Facebook back in 08, 09, when it was just a couple things on your timeline, you got a few friends, and everybody was peachy. You know, now, I mean, you just have access to everything. I mean, shucks, you see the news on Facebook or social media before it even hits the news. You know, there's just so much at your fingertips. But I think as far as your reputation, everyone needs to, what I call coof, okay? Have some tact with as far as what you put up there. You know, your reputation, especially if you're a business person, you know, and you're dependent on using a social media platform, which helps grow a lot of businesses. And if that's what you're using it for, that's probably who I'm going to give this piece of advice to. You know, learn how to keep your business part separate from your personal part. You know, if you're a business, start up a business page and separate your personal stuff from your business page. And just be careful about what you post. Everybody don't have to know everything that you're doing all the time. You know, you don't have to always let your left hand breathe.
Welcome.
Oh my goodness. Was it too much?
No,
You sure?
it's fine. You use what you want.
Oh, no doubt.
How you guys doing? Welcome back. It's Change It Live. Welcome.
Season 2, baby.
It's season 2. We are hyped if you can't tell already.
Oh!
So welcome to Change It Live. I am your host, Darius Hopkins. With me is my co-host, always the inspiring Frank Wheeler.
What's up, baby?
What's happening?
Let's go. Well, hey,
we're excited to have you guys, man.
Like we're so stoked tonight. We're excited because one is the start of season 2. Season 2, it's official. Okay, and what better way to get season 2 started than to bring back such an awesome young lady? Okay, a local real estate agent, facilitator of the local chapter of the Lupus Foundation.
Yes.
Mrs. Deetria D.D. Berger. Okay.
Welcome.
So the cool thing is what's been going on since the last time you were on the show? We know you had the walk was scheduled the last time you were on. So tell us a little bit of how the lupus walk went.
It was amazing. It was April 6th. We had it at Paradise Acres this year. This was our first time at that venue, and it just turned out wonderful. We had so many positive reviews from it. The foundation sent out a questionnaire, and everybody seemed very excited about the venue. great family environment, and we raised over $17,000, kicking some butt, you guys. And the
Let's go.
beauty, of that money that we raised for the walk, the majority of it goes to research, of course, because
Right,
that's what we
right.
raise the money for.
Right.
But a portion of it also comes back here to our community. So Deborah Lasoya and I can reach out, do outreach programs. Deborah was at the Dogwood Festival that
Okay.
we just had,
Yep,
letting everybody
yep,
know
okay.
about the Lupus Foundation, and that we have the Lupus Support Group here that meets the first Tuesday of every month. And Deborah took care of that Tuesday night for me because I was running a little behind with this busy life of ours, right?
Yes.
But then it allows us to help people in the community get the word out, so they know we're here for them if they need us, and we connect them with the foundation in Charlotte also.
Okay.
Awesome.
We're
Awesome.
super excited about
Oh
that.
yeah, that's awesome sauce. Well, hey, thank you so much for coming on prior to your annual family trip. Okay, right?
Of course, thank you for having me.
Okay.
I was super excited that it worked out.
And we were trying to make sure we squeezed
One
it
of
in
my
prior
many
to
Annual family trip.
But I understand this is like the one where
Yeah,
most of
mama,
everybody's there.
mama
you
and
know.
sister. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Goody.
We always try to do something fun and exciting. My mother will be 82 this year.
Wow.
And my sister is 61, and I'm something. 50 something. We
Right,
won't go into details, but last year we did a boat ride out to a place called Sand Dollar Island,
Okay.
which was just amazing. We got to pick up live sand dollars right out of the sand and find sand dollars, and we found conchs and stuff, and just a little bit of nature. And this year, believe it or not, my mother wants to go kayaking with me.
Oh,
I'm so excited.
There we go.
Brave.
So I told her,
Yes.
we'll double up. I'll take you. My
Yeah.
sister's going to be in her own. My sister and my mother have never been kayaking, so
Okay.
this is going to be a great adventure. Y'all might need to come along and film it.
No, where's this adventure gonna take place at?
Emerald Isle. We're going to go to Emerald Isle.
Okay.
And I told her, I said, that way if she gets tired, I can, keep
Yeah.
us going. I said,
Right.
if you get out there and you don't like it, we'll come back, and at least you can say you did it, right?
Right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
100%.
Never too old to try something new.
Never too old.
Yep.
Well,
Super
good stuff.
excited.
Good stuff.
Well, hey, getting back into the swing of things, this week our focus is balancing the active life. Our responsibilities intertwined around work, family, community, self-care, and faith. If you have small children, you are balancing work and family. If you are aging parents, you are balancing work, leisure, and family. If you have a chronic illness, you are balancing your health needs with the needs of others. You are completing tasks, delegating responsibilities, and forging new pathways. It takes dedication, knowledge, careful planning, the presence of mind that comes with maturity and the cooperation of others to maintain life's balance and act. Look out for those curveballs.
Yeah.
So now we invite viewers to join the conversation. Hey, give us your responses in the live chat, please. Let us know what you're thinking. Let us, give us some feedback, give us some input on some of the topics that we're going to cover tonight. Okay? Well, let's dive right into it. Now, Kim Kardashian West on Friday announced that she and her attorney helped secure the release of another low-level drug offender who spent more than 2 decades behind bars. Jeffrey Stringer was released from a South Florida prison after serving 22 years of a life sentence for drug possession. Do you feel more of these cases where a person was sentenced to life for low-level charges in 3-strike states should be reviewed?
I don't know what low strikes or low level charges are. Does that mean? I want to
That's a
say
drug possession.
It's possession, but a very small
small
amount.
amount.
Right.
I want to say it actually depends. Definitely think everything should be reviewed. This 22 years, just hearing this, I was telling you earlier, I try not to, I only know tidbits because I want to talk about things just the way I would feel.
Absolutely.
So 22 years seems like, I'm thinking, I've never smoked marijuana, but I would think that's just like a small amount you're saying.
That's a lot of time.
I don't know what, that's a lot of time
It is.
That's a lot.
for
of time.
something that's actually legal in some
Yeah,
states.
right.
And there's people sadly doing far worse
Yeah.
and getting less time. So it'd be different if he was doing it around children, had endangered somebody's life,
Right.
had more, and they thought he was trying to sell, or all these kinds of things. So that's what I mean by it depends.
Right.
But I definitely think 22 years is too much for something minute. That's legal in some states. That's medicinally needed and allowed in some states. When we have people that are doing heinous crimes
Yeah, absolutely.
that are getting less,
Right.
way less than that.
Like child molestation.
Like
Yes,
it's
murder even, we're seeing them get
it's
less.
like the doctor that was charged with Michael Jackson. He got 3 years. 3 years. And this guy had marijuana possession and was serving life, but he served 22 years.
Yeah, that's a crazy.
That's
Well, keep in mind, you all, he served 22 years because of the 3 strikes.
right, exactly. Well, yeah,
That
Right.
means he had 2 prior
right.
offenses.
Right. But
So
what were
whatever
they
you call
also?
That's the part.
Were they minute also, and it just fell under the 3-strike rule?
It could be anything, and
yeah.
So it's got to depend.
It's
I-
But
gotta
it's
be-
still, that's still,
Yeah.
he
I
could
think
have had marijuana 3 times. and
right.
it's
I
still
think I think the 3-strike
Well,
rule
you
should be if you do the same thing 3 times.
Well, I mean, if
But
it's
you do
still
this,
a
you do
small
that.
amount and it's a possession, he's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
trying to sell it.
Right.
He's not endangering anybody else's life. That's my biggest concern with some of these states that allow that it's legal to smoke marijuana, is like then they're getting behind a wheel.
Yeah.
And from someone that's never smoked marijuana, I would assume, because I only know things I've saw in the movies
Right,
and
right.
stuff, and some friends,
Mhm.
but I would assume that it alters your mind some, just like if you were drinking some alcohol.
Right.
So to get behind the wheel of a car,
Right.
you're endangering others then. So I have issues with it being legal. At the same time, I know so many people that need it to cope with everyday life because of their medical issues also.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
it's always it depends, but to me, if he got caught with marijuana 3 times, but it's a small amount, that's still way too
Yeah.
extreme of a punishment in my
Well,
opinion.
he served 22 years of a life.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. Yes.
So that means they were planning on keeping him in
Yeah,
prison
absolutely.
for the rest
Yeah.
of his natural life
Yeah.
for a drug offense and a minor one. So the thing is what's extreme, what's too much, does it need to be reviewed?
Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
Prime example of how our laws all need to be
Oh, yeah.
reassessed and
Um,
reevaluated, and we need to stand firm with our senators.
Yeah. A lot
To
of
get them
laws.
to start working for us better.
Yeah. A lot of laws are ancient based off of previous decades.
Oh Lord, I think you can still beat your wife on the
I
courthouse
mean,
steps in Fayetteville on Sunday.
it's crazy.
I think that's still on the books.
But I do want to point out.
But you go to jail for 10 years.
I do want to point out Kim Kardashian West. She's helped over 17 people in the last 30 days get out of jail.
Regardless of what people think of her.
I mean, and I think it's due to point that out because a lot of times celebrities don't get the credit for positive things.
Right.
They don't get the credit if they're doing something negatively.
Exactly.
They just get destroyed in the media. But when you do something positive, that should get the same thing, no matter what people think of her family and what she does and things like that. She's still doing something positive. There's 17 people that are with their families now.
That weren't before.
That wasn't
That's a
before.
burden.
And a lot of those they were going to stay in jail for the rest of their
For
life.
life. Yeah.
Right.
For something
So that-
minute.
So that's commendable, and I believe all laws and structure and all judicial systems need to be reviewed. Because how many judges have come in and out of changing with the decades? Things change.
Oh, absolutely.
You got to look at cyber crimes. You got to look at all this stuff that wasn't a thing 20 years ago. So all of it needs to be reviewed.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And like I said, regardless of how some people view Kim Kardashian,
Yeah.
yes, I say also we got to give some kudos to her.
Absolutely.
Because she's taking her
Absolutely. Yeah.
platform of where she's at
Mhm.
to get attention to people that wouldn't normally get help.
Right.
These 17 people,
Mhm.
as you say, Nobody was paying them any attention.
Yeah.
Nobody was speaking for them.
Yeah, and I think it can come to a safety, because if you got somebody that has 2 strikes and the police are coming to get them, they know that's their 3rd strike.
Yeah.
Now you got police that's in the risk. They could be like, well, I'm going to jail for life anyway. I have nothing to lose.
That's right. Yeah.
So you got to look at that aspect too. Now you're looking at this person giving more trouble in jail because he's like, well, I ain't got nothing to lose.
Or to the police
Right.
officers
Yes,
before they get
I
him.
have nothing to lose now. This is my 3rd strike.
Right.
So you got to look at that too. There are some comments. Erica says, I think the 3-strike rule should be mandatory maximum for the offense, not mandatory life.
Right.
No matter
So
what.
No matter
it
what the
depends.
offense
It
is.
needs
Yeah.
to be reviewed first.
Right.
It
Exactly.
shouldn't be automatic.
I mean, it's
100%.
yeah. I mean, some of these laws I know in
Now, third
Louisiana.
DUI, you shouldn't have a
Oh,
license.
right, correct, right. They get a slap on the wrist. for that.
I know. That's why this just astonishes me. Bless his heart.
It
Mm,
does.
mm, mm.
Well, all I can say is kudos to Kim.
Yeah.
Kim's done an awesome job of being an advocate for just justice that needs to be looked at a little closer, especially with our judicial system. And the thing is that I want to just give you guys a few stats here for a second, based off the BureauofJustice.org. Okay. First thing is $81 billion is now spent in our prison system in the United States of America, which is now surpassing education itself as a whole in America.
Man.
That's
Major issue.
that's like, woo, prison is big business.
Yeah.
It is huge business. And the fact now that the prison dollar amount we spend now surpasses education as far as K through 12 education is astounding. It's astounding. It's mind-boggling.
Well,
Okay.
and is that because our prisons are so overcrowded with people that should be there, and then people like this that
Well, here's another
Really,
here's another
17.
statistic that bothers me. An African American person is 6 times more likely to get convicted of the same offense than his white counterpart. 6 times, gets 6 times convicted more so than a person of a different skin color for the same drug offense.
the same exact.
The same
drug offense.
exact drug offense.
So they've both been caught,
They've both been caught,
but he's more.
but
likely
the
to get
African
convicted.
American is 6 times more likely to be convicted and sentenced to a longer term.
Why is that?
The
Good
system.
question.
That's a great question. That's an absolute great question.
That's a big issue.
It's a huge issue.
Yeah, it needs to be
And-
reviewed.
Because it shouldn't matter
Right.
the color of our skin if we're breaking the law.
Well,
We're breaking the law.
Absolutely. Here, I'm going to give you another statistic based off the Bureau of Justice. Okay. Our population as of 2014, 64% of America is white, non-Hispanic. 16% is Hispanic. 13% is African American. And 7% is other. Okay. For the sake of statistics. Now, 39% of the prison system is composed of whites. Okay? Now, okay, 16% of Hispanics, 40% of African Americans that only make up 13% of the population. And this is just for drug offenses, not everything else. Okay? So, and then 5% of it. So you've got a race of people that represents 13% of the population, but they represent 40% of the prison system.
And it's not necessarily because they're more apt to commit the crimes. It's because they're getting charged more when
It's because
they're
they
going up against
Correct.
another white person or Hispanic person for the same offense.
That's
They're
correct.
getting the jail time and they're not.
That's correct.
Okay.
And it's
That's,
absolutely,
that's not right.
it's not right at all. And something has to be done. And we've got a lot of people now that are championing for you know, the overhaul of the justice system when it comes to these non-violent drug offenses. And what we mean by non-violent, somebody who doesn't get killed, shot, hurt, stabbed, or maimed
Right.
because of some type of transaction dealing with illegal narcotics or drugs.
Right.
You know, so now, and also here's another statistic that just blew my mind. America only makes up about a little bit less than 10% of the world's population. Okay? But we make up about 30% of the world prison system. Prisoners. Okay? So we can talk about this stuff for hours, but at the end of the day, something needs to be done. The 3-strike rule definitely needs to be reviewed. And change has to happen at our local levels because it's the judges are the ones who police enforce the laws, judges interpret the laws, lawmakers make the laws. So all those things go in a, you know, it's kind of like a local hand in hand. So who we put on the bench determines also who's going to get a fair sentence. Who we put, you know, you want somebody who's going to hand the same person a fair sentence regardless of race, color, background, creed, regardless of how much money they got, whatever. Everything needs to be treated fairly. I personally believe, regardless of socioeconomic background, financial status, if you got two people of different races that commit the same offense, they should get the same time.
Yeah.
They should get the same punishment.
Same punishment. That is right.
Period. And that's the way our justice system is supposed to work.
It'll be a blind justice.
Okay, a blind justice system. Right. Okay. Fantastic. Now, up to 1 million plant and animal species are on the verge of extinction, with devastating implications for human survival, according to the United Nations report released on Monday. Coral reefs lost to warming and acidifying oceans, for example, could cause a collapse in commercial and indigenous fisheries, affecting billions of coastal residents who rely on seafood for protein and income. And the loss of pollinators such as bees and other insects, shout out to Morgan Freeman for, you know, for the bee sanctuary farm, etc. And other insects is likely to have a devastating effect on farming. Has your family become more aware of our impact of the world on the world around us, discussing small ways we can lower our negative impact?
We are horrible.
Yeah.
It is just myself and my husband now at home.
Man, that's you know what?
We are horrible. You know, we used to do the big, turn the lights out, close the door, we're not cool in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
We did all that stuff when the kids were growing up, and now it's like all the lights are on, the TV goes 24/7.
But at least you don't have to get fully dressed to go get you a cup of water.
That's
Got to be a blessing. I can't wait
It is.
to that.
But if you had asked my
can't
children,
wait.
I didn't get fully dressed to go get a cup of water anyway.
And Mom in the kitchen again.
Don't come downstairs, Mom, to the kitchen.
And my kids weren't the ones, well, maybe when they became teenagers, they had problems with it, but they never said anything. And my husband was the one, you can't be running around here in your skivvies. I'm like, we got blinds. People should not be looking in the window. So, yeah, there were some things that didn't stop me from living life anyway. You know, we talk about global warming and stuff like that. You know, this stuff's been going on for years and years and years. And the coral reef, we have lost portions of it, and it comes back. But we do have to, you know, take responsibility for some things, but and try to make things better. The bees bother me because there are stories of that in the Bible.
Yeah.
And we have to have the bees to continue everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I mean,
Everything has its place.
I think it was last week, somebody had actually damaged a bee farm. They like killed and knocked over all the boxes, the hives and stuff where they were growing them in it. I was like, what? One, why? Why does somebody even do something like that? Right. But that was somebody trying to, you know, make things better and start repopulating the bees, because the good ones are dying out. We got plenty of the bad ones, it
Yeah.
sounds like, but
Yeah.
the good ones that we need to help pollinate in our food and stuff is dying out. And I think a lot of it has to do with all the chemicals and stuff that we use every day. And I mean, there's tons of stuff that implicates
Right.
how it's causing devastation. And it's sort of trying to figure out, years ago, we didn't recycle.
Absolutely.
Right.
We've been
Absolutely.
recycling for a long time
Yeah,
now,
yeah,
and we're
yeah.
still not getting any better.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, what else? We got to do more. But what is it? And it's trying to figure out what we need to do to make things better.
Absolutely.
But and I shouldn't joke about that, but I am an energy waster, and I shouldn't be. But I try to be better when the grandkids are visiting, because I try to make them mindful. But I should be more mindful on my own.
Yep. And you're right. Humans is bad. I mean, we consume
We are. But
everything from, fossil fuels and just oil and everything like that. We
we've
just
been spoiled.
destroy the planet. We have to take care of the planet. I did look into this on CNN.com. A lot of it is food we eat is part of this as well.
Oh, we waste so much.
Right, yeah, exactly. So that is part of it as well.
I haven't been wasting much lately.
Yeah.
And just energy. Energy is a lot of it. It's just energy. We got to take care of our planet because of the whole global warming thing. We got to take care of the planet. We only got one.
How do you guys feel about solar panels?
I think it's a good idea. I mean, it's amazing what you can do.
Yeah.
Is it a little expensive to get it at first? Yes, but it will save you a ton.
Okay. So you guys don't know this about me. Okay. So when I was younger, I worked at a photovoltaic research lab. I was a lab assistant in Jersey. And I worked for a Hungarian physicist, and Zoltan Kish. And we designed the little solar panels that went in the watches back in the day.
Okay.
Okay, remember when this
Yeah,
first came
yeah,
out?
yeah,
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
super cool stuff. But he has been, Lord, I think he's in his 90s, but he has still been trying to get our government to focus on solar energy.
Yeah.
And I was reading a story the other night about him. And he's actually, instead of the big panels, he's saying we're going about it the wrong way. These big giant panels are too expensive. They're not gathering enough. And he's coming up with this. It's about the size of one of those like milk crates. You know what I'm talking about? We use them for fouling sometimes.
Right.
Those little milk crates. He's come up with a box about that big that he is able to gather and store enough energy in this little box to run a household.
Well,
Could you imagine?
yeah. That'll change everything.
Yes. So, it's been a long time because then my career took me to a couple different, then I started working at the aerospace firm, and then some other things happened. We moved, and but I'm really starting to get interested in it again. And it's not, we don't have the solar panels, but I was like, because it is just my husband and I.
Right.
I get that electric bill, and I know I'm a waster, but I'm like, man, could you imagine? Can you imagine how
Would
much less
you-
money we'd be spending a month on electric if we just
Would you
had a little
think?
box?
Would you think that some of the big energy companies would try to stop that?
Yeah, they have
And
been.
then you have a whole other.
They have been.
I think you have.
We're talking
you have
about
another.
the late 80s, early 90s
yeah.
that I worked back here.
Right.
And he was progressing. That's what we were doing, the watches, but the engineers were flying over to Japan,
Right.
China, they were going everywhere and coming up with all this technology. So he's been working way before I
Yeah,
came
absolutely.
in the late 80s and 90s to get to where he was then. And he was already in the process of what he's doing now back then. So yes, people have been stopping.
I think because you'll have another Nikola Tesla thing where if you're saving people money on energy, the big boy's gonna say, "Hold up,
Yeah, hold up.
now you messing with our money. We're a multi-billion-dollar company. If you do this, everybody's gonna jump ship. We're gonna go broke. How does that help? How does that hurt the economy?" So all that is
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
other ways though of making the world go
absolutely,
round.
absolutely,
It
absolutely.
is. I know. we're recyclers in my house. And I'm actually a recycling bin nut case in my house.
That's good.
But that's about the extent of my helping the world out. I mean, just keeping it real. I think, you know, they're talking about over 1 million species are probably going to be extinct here. Implications of being extinct. I think that's just natural selection. You know, scientifically, at some point things die off. You know, I mean, the same things that are living today weren't living 1 million years ago, unless it was a crocodile. You know what I mean? So it's just a part of science and the way the world's going to work. You know, lions may not be around 100 years from now, but you'll be able to read about them on the internet, I'm pretty sure. Or, you know, I mean, think about it. Mammals don't exist anymore. You know, now we have elephants. You know, things are going to change. Things are. I mean, I don't expect for us to have like, you know, to where I think whales will somewhat are going to be extinct. You know, just because all the plastic we're pouring in the ocean, that's like huge right now. Just plastic in the ocean. It's actually really affecting our fishing industry and our wildlife in the ocean. And I know I was looking at saw some of the news and reading on the internet that there's this developer. I can't remember what country he's from, but he built this device that like vacuums plastic and brings it in and forms like this huge,
I saw that. Yeah.
kind of like trash compactor out in the middle of the ocean and just pulls all the plastic to
I
it.
saw that. Yeah.
And I think it's like genius, you know, but it cost a ton to build. And then I can't remember the country it was in, but they make these little devices that sit off the docks that pull the plastic to these devices
So they can collect.
so they can collect the stuff. And I think that's pretty
That's
neat.
amazing.
So I think as science and man just has this awesome ability to figure stuff out over the
Right.
course of time, I think we'll figure it out with some things that we can control, and then the things that we can't that you know just over time just corrodes, erodes, or whatever is just what's going to happen. You know, there's a lot of things that's probably we're not going to be allowed to be able to see or know, or, you know, especially with the global warming and those type of things, you know. But do we want to teach our kids to do things better
Of course.
to where the world will last longer for their children? Absolutely. You know, and I think, and I'll be the first to tell you, I don't have those kind of conversations with my kids yet, and maybe I need to, and I might just be a poor human being for not being so environmentally knowledgeable or educated, you know, it's just something.
Well,
It starts with you.
Well, and it starts, everything.
Be the
pretty much
change you
starts
wanna
at
see,
home.
you know?
That's right, be the change. So let's do a little pact, you guys.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's, the next time we get to see each other, let's come up with something we've changed that we're doing at home. I mean, I know my grandchildren are in Colorado now, but I can call them and put them on a mission. Children, and you personally and your family. Okay, let's come up with something. What do you want to do? Let's do something.
No?
Just at home. What's one thing you feel like, since you think you're not very good at it, other than the recycling part, what's one thing that you could do at home that you could start doing that would make you feel better and help teach your children to make less of a footprint? What's one thing?
I don't know, BD. That's more. Okay, I got you.
What about you? Can you think of something? You got something?
Yeah,
Okay.
you know, because we're also having I think at some point we're going to have a critical clean water crisis. Just period, because it's becoming harder and harder to clean.
I want to build a desalinization plant.
And I think one of the reasons why it's like that is one, what we put down in drains, particularly like grease, chemicals, things of that nature that
You
are
still doing
becoming
that?
harder and harder. No, actually, it's funny. I kid you not. I put my grease away in like a big plastic container and toss it. You know, I don't put it down the drain. And stuff like that. I think, you know, and then some of the chemicals that we use, like if you wash your car in the driveway, and the soaps and detergents
goes
that
down,
you
it goes
use,
into
and
the
it
sea.
goes down into the drain. It's like goodness, you know, because I give you an example. Like dealerships and car washes have to have a special draining system to separate the chemicals that they use when they clean cars, when they change oil,
Okay.
things of that nature. And I think at some point it would be nice if neighborhoods were
Same thing.
same way to protect the water, because they do that to protect the water.
Right.
You know, so I think if we did that from a residential standpoint, I think it would make it better.
So you can collect all the oil in your neighborhood by the time you're in next week.
Well, my true intention is to do this right here. I want to go on.
Spartacus.
And I want to create some sort of machine, okay, that can magically like suck all the chemicals and oil from all the driveways and sides of the streets in the neighborhoods
Engineering class
and
101.
become a billionaire. Right. That's what I'm going to do right now.
That's great.
So,
But what are we gonna do until the next
I
time
don't
we meet?
know. What do you think?
Well, you do your recycling.
Yeah.
So you do your aluminum cans and your paper bags and stuff like that.
Yes.
What do you do with leftovers?
Well, I can tell you this now. There was a time, because you know I love to cook. You know, we can talk about that for about 20 minutes. There was a time I would just cook so much, right? Because my thinking is always leftovers next day.
Mhm.
Like, okay, I cooked today, and then tomorrow we got some leftovers, and then
I don't have to cook.
my wife don't have to worry about cooking or whatever the case may be. So now I'm like, but I would find that those leftovers we intended on eating, nobody would eat it.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Really?
and then
And a couple days.
4 days later,
Yeah.
5 days later, they get
It's
tossed in the
not
trash, and we just wasted a ton of food.
Yep.
So now I've cut my portion sizes down on regular dinners so much to where
Not as many
now I'm not having
leftovers,
as much leftovers. So now I'm watching my food bill go down, you know,
Yeah.
and just not wasting food. Especially things like drives me nuts is we make a salad. Like we make a salad, won't nobody touch it. Like, yes, like a salad. And won't nobody eat it, and then it goes brown.
I love
Then
salad.
I have to find myself start taking that stuff to work for lunch, you know. But I think that's one thing.
You have leftover night.
Yes. I think that's one thing we've done that can help.
It's got a little better. What
It's got
about
a
you?
little
I need to consume less power. You know, like during the day, why you got lights on during the day? Like you can open a blind or something like that. Let the natural light come in.
You talking to me?
No, I'm on myself. Like I run lights. I'll have like 3, 4 lights on in the house, and I'm not in none of the rooms.
Right. 100%.
Like that's a big. I mean, that'll help me personally too with the power bill. And I don't recycle at all. I don't.
You don't at all?
I don't at all. I don't at all. I just throw it all in the trash.
You can at least recycle. They give us a bin and everything, Darius.
Yeah,
So,
they do.
yard work goes in that bin.
Huh?
That's my yard work goes in that bin.
I have a separate can for yard stuff. No?
Darius.
Yeah, we gotta work on that. Okay, I think our mission is to get
Just
him
lean in.
to at least recycle at
Nope.
home.
Lean in.
Nope.
You gonna
Nope. I
snap
know
it
what's
over
coming. I know what's
You want me to
coming.
get him upside the back?
I know what's coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. So definitely.
Okay, well, that's gonna be our
Definitely.
mission.
That's gonna be our mission.
We're gonna help you learn to recycle. Okay?
100%.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna send you a list
Okay.
of what can be in that recycle bin. Yes?
Yes.
You got your recycle bin
Yeah.
at your house? They give you one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's part of our property tax.
Yeah.
They do it
Absolutely.
for
I'm
us.
telling you. Yeah.
And it's not as strict as some places. Some places make you take the labels off, wash your cans, do
Really?
half the work. We just have to put it in the bin,
Yeah.
okay?
Put it to the street.
So I got a list of everything that is allowed, because there's some things that you would think is allowed that's not,
Not right.
okay? So I've got a list. I'll
Okay.
send you a list, and we're
I'll
gonna
do
see
better.
how he does.
Right.
Maybe we should make him bring it in.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, and I'll try to remind you to turn a light off once in a while. How many lights you
Yeah.
got on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we'll do, and we'll see how he's doing. That way we'll feel better, yeah?
Well, I'm definitely in that case when it comes to lights being kept on, because my house is so busy all the time.
Yeah.
So
24/7.
we could. I'm like a light Nazi. From if I come home and my front porch light up, and garage lights are on, the garage lights on the outside of the garage are on. When I get home, I'm like halfway spazzing out. I'm like, wow, all these lights on. And then in the morning time, I make my boys cut off all the lights in the house before we leave the house. It's you know, I mean, because there's no need to have it on. Like why? And when you got a large family like I do, your light bill stays high. So if I can save and shave $1 or $2 or whatever the case may be, then that's what we're gonna do.
For Frank.
Yeah.
We'll text him throughout the day and say, hey, did you make sure all the lights were out today? When the boys get home from school, have them turn lights out.
Yeah.
Something to help keep you on track. So what are y'all gonna do to me?
Well,
Where do you need help at?
Everything.
Oh,
no, we
Just come up with something for me. I want to do it.
no, we're gonna let Rich handle it. I think Rich
Rich,
is gonna
he's on there.
He's the
Yeah,
one that
it's
turns
gonna
all the lights on.
You know, I think we're gonna get Rich
Involved in this
be
to
involved
set
in
me
this
straight.
process.
Okay.
We'll get Rich involved.
Good luck, baby.
Okay. But hey, Dee Dee, thanks so much for coming.
Oh, I love it. You
It's
guys.
always a pleasure to have you. Season 2 kicked off tonight.
Woo! It's my honor.
We're awesome sauce. Well, hey,
absolutely. Now, we do post updates about our guest, the host, and the community on our
Yes.
Change It Live page.
yes,
Okay, be sure to like and share our Facebook page with your friends.
Yeah.
And like we say at the end of every show,
Be the change you want to see.
You guys have a nice night.
good night.
All right.
Woohoo!
And just something that we do customary at the end of every show is be the change that you want to see. Good night, everybody.
Thank you
So as we always say and how we end every show, be the change you want to see.
Good night, y'all.
Good night.
Change
You wanna see. Good night,
Good
folks.
night, y'all.
And what we like to say and what we do say at the end of every show, be the change you want to see.
Good night.
Good night, and thank you so much.
Please like and share Facebook with your friends. Now, we always say at the end of every show, be the change you want to see. Good night.
Woo! Good night.
Good night, y'all.
Please join us each Thursday on Facebook at 9 p.m. Eastern Time.